Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and I just saw this drop. This is the roadmap roundup, and there's a few interesting things I'd like to go through with you. So yeah, this is every 2 weeks release. So here it starts. In this week's roadmap update, we're excited to announce addition of Alpha 4.0, right? So it's no longer 1.0, no, it's Alpha 4.0, and this is targeting Q3 this year. In CIG language, in case you're new to the channel and you're not familiar with what CIG does, no, it's not going to be Q3. It's going to be, at the best, end of the year, along with the International Aerospace Expo, which is the other big ship sale event. So this weekend, it's the first one. It's the Invictus. Then there's going to be like the Alien Week a few weeks later, I think. But the biggest one is at the end of the year, the AIE, and that's when they're going to be doing this. It's not going to be Q3 this year, okay? Let's get that out of the way. So server meshing, right. The initial implementation of server meshing will come along, I guess, in 4.0. Enable multiple servers per shard to improve low distribution and facility. Okay, we'll see how that goes. I mean, this is supposed to be the big tech, right? Server meshing. Multiple shards, mission system refactor, reworking an underlying mission system to become compatible with server meshing, allowing for easier creation and maintenance of mission content. Well, transit system refactor, reworking, and anyway, more techie stuff that, you know, as long as it works, no one has a problem. When it doesn't work, yeah. Now, this is where I think it gets interesting. PYRO 1, right? Well, this is in theory so as to, right, server meshing v1, low distribution facilities, navigation between two systems. And that's because for Alpha 4.0, the idea is Alpha 4.0 has to include PYRO. So that's why it needs to navigate between these two solar systems. That is the idea. Will it be? Will it work? I guess it will, mostly because it's already there. PYRO, it's already there, and some of us have been there. I mean, what I saw was nothing to brag about. It was, it's like, it's bigger, but it's like 3 like outer rings. So it's basically 3 rings, and you only could go to the planets in the first one. And it is a lot of copy paste. There's not a whole lot of new. And what you saw in that little trailer back in the day, that is the most exciting stuff they have. Other than that, it's the same settlements as always, and it's the same kill mission, delivery mission. The 4 starting points, the 4 starting cities, which are space stations actually, are copy pasted. So it's one space station that looks like all piratey and the relic, which you've probably seen in trailers. It's the same thing, copy pasted 4 times, which I don't think it's. I don't think it is serious. I think that's quite disgusting that they copy paste the same city and call it different things 4 times. I hope they don't do that when they go for 4.0. It will be embarrassingly bad if they do. But I mean, I don't put anything past them. They, at this point, they just don't care. If people keep on buying ships and, you know, money keeps on flowing in, they won't give a damn anyway. So PYRO 1 is the first planet from the sun of PYRO system. It is thick, high pressure atmosphere, a strange landscape beset by powerful winds and all right. So this is the one that we've seen. We've seen these are the first is the first planet from the sun. Right. These are the ones you could actually go to. PYRO 1, you could go to PYRO 1. PYRO 2, Monox. Monox is the second planet from the sun. Nickname Monox for the deadly carbon monoxide. Blah, 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 blah. It has a temperate climate. May seem... So all of this sounds super exciting, right? But in all of these planets that I've been to, it's the same settlement. It's the same... the same library of assets that they copy-pasted a few times in a few of these planets. However, its proximity system made it dangerous to human habitation, refused to clear by potential risk, outlaws. So yeah, 3. Bloom is the third planet from the sun. Natural habitable, becomes epicenter of mining endeavors, and I haven't. The thing is, I haven't seen a single city in any of these planets. They don't have a city. The settlements, it's kind of the same. Again, copy pasting the same settlements, and it doesn't include a whole lot. It's not as if you're gonna find anything interesting in these places, right? And processing centers that were in use until they're gonna drop the same old thing in these places. Claim Square, Outlaws, Forward Mining, alright. Again, PYRO 4, the outermost moon of the PYRO 5. Astronomers theorize one is fourth planet from the sun. 1 point. Tectonic activity resulted. You go to these planets, they all look the same. The settlements, the buildings, the pirate bases that they have, they're all the same. They look very sterile, very dead, and there's not a whole lot for you to do there. PYRO 5, the fourth planet, giving up. All right, more bullshit crap. Terminus. Oh, so you may be thinking, oh, this one has something different. No, based on what we saw so far. No, there is not. And I very much doubt that if they're going to drop this for Q3, or actually Q4, so if they're going to drop this by this year, there's not going to be anything new there anyway. Contains high amounts of... So you see what they talk about the gases that you will find in these planets. I mean, no shit. That's what you talk about? Pyrotechnic place... Ignis. Ignis is where it's at. Ignis is the shit. Ignis is the innermost moon of the gas giant PYRO system. Multiple canyons, dry riverbeds. There's not even rivers. Suggests that liquid, once there was, is frigid. Average temperature and deadly atmosphere of sulfur. How many gases can you list? You know why they talk about sulfur dioxide? Creating an unfriendly environment, because they have nothing else to talk about, right? For those who lack proper protective equipment, nonetheless, the moon sometimes sees visitors seeking resupply in their air reserves a small amount of oxygen in the atmosphere. Vatra. The second moon from the gas giant. Okay, finally, we're going to be talking about something else. This is a high-pressure atmosphere of nitrogen, methane, supports the ecosystem, plants that subsist on the hydrocarbons instead of carbon monoxide, some water, presents on Vetra, form of ice, but it's too cold. Okay. Third moon, jagged mountains, lack of protective atmosphere. Fourth moon, PYRO, hot, seismic, deep. The moon has an unusual ecosystem that thrives both on the surface and under the sea, supported by the carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Are we gonna go under the sea to see this thriving ecosystem? Something tells me no, we're not. Fuego is a fifth moon from the gas giant PYRO 5, relatively temperature but still cold. Carbon dioxide, percentage nitrogen, more gases. This is a fucking list of gases. I have to remind you, you will not see any kind of gas. I don't even think you're going to be seeing it in the Moby glass, the explanation of the gases. And it doesn't even matter. This is all lines of text. This is all filler. This is all filler so as to pretend that there's a giant system with all... There really is not. They don't have it. And they show you... You know how you know there's nothing? Because CIG shows you everything all the time. Not only do they show you everything they have, they even show things that they end up not actually doing. Case in point, like sandworms. Have you ever seen a sandworm? Of course not. Have they shown that like 10 years ago? Yes, they did. So they suggest these things, but eventually it's not there. High amounts of iron sulfide in the soil gives its surface a yellowish... Okay, so it's a yellowish planet. Okay. Group, headhunters. All of these, I don't even think they have... You know what they have? This is so lazy and so cheap. they have the same hairstyles. It's the same like pyro dressing, but they have like different markings. So, oh, this one has a tattoo. Like I should, you know, they have like a different tattoo on the face, or they have like different graffitis. So it's they copy pasted same station, but with a different graffiti. That's how you get around not doing your job. That's how you get around not actually having different cities. I mean, I talked about this last year when I said, look, you cannot copy paste the same station 4 times, put things in different floors, and say, oh, this is different because the graffiti is different. No. And based on what I see here, based on so much conversation about the gases, they're going to try to fuck us over. They're going to drop what we all saw from Pyro. Well, not all of us, but what some of us saw from Pyro. They're going to be throwing that and making it look as if, yeah, there you go, Pyro. Renowned Vulture 6 moons, increased greenhouse effects from gas, and more gas, and warm, and soil, and vegetation. Crystalline carbon in the base structures. Okay. I read this and I see that there's no mention of towns. I mean, nothing significant. They will have some fucking little name, but one is exactly one settlement, and it's all the same settlement you saw on the Pyro trailer. That one that you saw on the Pyro trailer with the 400i, that's all there is in Pyro. And there's the relic building thing that they already use, and that's it. And some of the hostiles use the citadel armor. Yeah, the citadel armor, that's the same one with a graffiti on it. But man, it is. I mean, if you're going to be doing things like that, if you're going to be going as less variety than in No Man's Sky, give me damn No Man's Sky. Give me 1,000,000 planets if they're going to be all the same copy-pasted. You know what I mean? Anyway, Outpost, Colonialism, a small home of AI to live and shelter. They consist of central hub and a few optional internal and external modules. They provide the basic necessities to support a small group of people for an indefinite amount of time. Outpost, well, are they going to give us Outpost? Finally, we'll have our little home there in space. Outpost, Colonialism, that would be sweet. That would be nice. A small home for AI to live. No, so it's not going to be for us. It's going to be for AI. What is this? Well, Outpost, Colonialism. So, oh, these are the outposts we already, again, fucking, this is what they have already. So, there's these outposts, just like the ones, you see from Demboro and the outposts and the settlements we already have. That's what we're not getting any settlements. We're getting that. Jump points, these you already see, which is the same station but bigger. Solar bursts. Solar bursts are dangerous, and this is a pain in the ass. These solar burst things, you know what these means? The solar burst is all of a sudden you start getting shaky cam, and everything gets white, and that's a solar burst. They will have to adjust that because it's like sometimes it's like every fucking 10 minutes everything gets white. The solar storm alert. I don't know whoever thought that would be fun. I mean, a little bit of that every once in a while, but damn, that is replacing that for gameplay. Engineering. Okay, here's where we get somewhere. Allowing players to manage, maintain, and repair various ships. Players can assume different roles that each provide a unique gameplay loop. With engineering gameplay, players have to contend with the item degradation. All right. I don't know how they're going to be doing this with the bigger ships that people have bought already. Are you going to give people some kind of NPC to run around, someone you can hire? Or are you just going to screw everyone over and not have anyone buy ever again a bigger ship because 90% of players play solo? I have no clue. I guess they know what they're getting into. Charge drain, adding the ability of players to drain, store, and charge objects with power using multi-tools, including the ability of overcharge objects, and also remove distortion damage. Wait, charging what? Like weapons or that? The ability, adding the ability for players to drain, store, and charge objects. What objects? With power using the multi-tool, including the ability to overcharge objects and also remove distortion damage. Oh, like from the systems. Okay. Multi-tool updates, raising the multi-tool up to the standard from Squadron 42. Fucking Squadron 42, which will be a shitstorm of epic proportions. No one will like Squadron 42. No one that plays already Star Citizens likes Squadron 42. In fact, all of the worst things that are coming now are from Squadron 42. So, with the additional functionality like cutting for specific scenarios, repair and update like improved handling, integrated user interface, and the use of batteries to operate it. You're going to be making it even more shitty and cumbersome. Okay. This is from Squadron 42. This is the cutting function, which we've never actually got. I mean, you have the torch thing, and you never use that for anything. But for a couple scenes, I guess, from the Squadron 42, I guess it will have a place. Fire hazard. Implementing. This is cool. The idea of something burning and you have to put it out. That's okay. Fire extinguisher. Again, no problem with that. Fire. Right, that's nice. MFD rework and new displays. Rebuilding ship multifunction displays in building blocks, including new design, functionality, customization options. You know what? It would be nice if we didn't lose the settings that we have in our guns when you go between SCM mode and nav mode, which you're fucking forcing us to do. The idea that you lose the setup in your weapons because of that, it is incredible. It should have been for years now that whatever setting you put on your ship stays there. Why the hell can't you figure that out? This update will also include a selective number of updates with giving greater visibility. Oh, please don't fuck this up again. Manufacturer base visual overhaul. Alright. Quasi-grazer. These large, warm-blooded herd animals were originally discovered in the vast plains of Quasi-Terra. So they're going to be putting these animals on PYRO. Okay, that was not there before. We didn't have any animals, so I guess I'm not terribly excited about animals because, based on what we see already, they're little more than decoration. The Quasir has become one of the standard seed animals, and they can be only found most terraform planets. Okay, so on the terraform planets on PYRO, we will have these creatures. Additionally, player customization following the release of new character customization. So we'll have more faces. Yeah, they're kind of shitty. So much talk about character customization, and it ended up being shit. So yeah. Oh, we have beards now. Okay, but you can't barely modify the face from what it used to be. And you have all of these dots that you move around and they change nothing, or in fact, they change into what you already have. You're not really deforming based on pulling on those dots as they would be suggested. No, you just pull from the nose and the nose starts changing into like different shapes of nose that are already preset. You're not distorting the existing image. So Zeus building, balancing, and implementing. Alright, so yeah, maybe this the animals are for now. Building, balancing pulse. Another pulse. Gold standard for retaliator. Vehicle modularity. Implementing the ability to swap modules. In which this will go into the retaliator. Okay, I guess that's what we're looking for this year. I hope they don't do this shit of dumping what they already have for PYRO and just leaving it like that. It is kind of concerning based on what we already saw. But, if you're going to do a new system at this rate, if you're going to be taking 10 years for a new system, you cannot do less than No Man's Sky for 1 billion planets. If No Man's Sky does a little bit of this copy-pasty thing and randomly generated for 1 billion planets, you can't do that for a new system every 10 years. They have to be unique. The stations have to be unique, right? The settlements, you can copy paste and use a little bit of a library, but especially for the starting locations, I mean, am I crazy? Am I insane? Let me know in the comments. Yes, Fernando, you're crazy. You're asking too much. Because as far as I know, we have Lorville, we have New Babbage, we have Horizon, we have Area 18. We have those 4 starting locations, and you can even throw in there Grimhex. You have 5 different locations, 5 distinctively different locations that they have a different library, they're just different places. You cannot just copy Lorville 4 times, throw a couple graffitis on the walls, and say, oh, well, different. No, that is not different. That is lazy, and that is not worthy of a game worth $100, least of all 500 million or whatever it is that they have up until this point. Okay, anyway, that's just the way I see it. But yeah, I guess we will see Pyro this year. Having seen Pyro already, I'm not super excited. To be honest, I'd love to see real new content added, and what we get from Pyro will be something new for those that haven't seen it already. But man, what I saw was so lazy, so incomplete, that it puts every other game out there in a different level. Pyro is, up until the point of what I saw, Pyro is, oh man, not really great. Anyway, yeah, again, you cannot copy the same thing, and you cannot have a bunch of planets talking about gases because you don't have any distinctive settlement, you don't have any special building, you don't have it. No, but this is no, come on, be real. Give us something that is worthy of so much time and so much money. See you next time.